Digital tax.
In true, I don't know, but I find this that not accepting, so not accepting. They don't say why.
Okay, so once we've had our short break, I hope you enjoy the tasty, yeah, yeah, exactly, the bits, and other snacks, thanks to our beloved European Union. So please be considerate when you discuss budgets, because money it's required to pay all these beautiful things. With that said, now we have a little bit more than an hour, or almost 2 hours, say an hour and a half or so, to discuss 4 headings. Okay? Taking into consideration my previous experience with you, member states of this group, that's actually a big challenge. So I would please ask for the member states to be focused on our final goal, which is reaching an overall agreement on all of the headings. Take into consideration that your budget now has increased in 21 billion, so the total is 1,222 billion. See? If I increase, sorry, 32, 1,232 billion. Okay? That's as much as we have increased. Now, with that in your head, let's go and discuss our first heading, which is the single market, innovation and digital. This includes the strategic investments of the European Union. It includes some of our market strategy, which is one of our most important elements, and other stuff such as the space program and the research and innovation programs. So now, or the Commission suggested a little bit less than 150 billion for this heading. You want to keep it like this? You want to rearrange the allocations within the heading, or do you want to add some of the 21 billion in this particular heading? Anybody who wants to take the floor? Because if not, we move on to the other headings. Yes, Netherlands and Spain and Croatia, I think it was, or Finland. Netherlands, Spain, Finland.
Thank you. Well, for my part, I believe that we should maintain the budget, but I'm open to hear proposition to maybe increase some part from 1 to 2%, especially for research and innovation, because I believe that Horizon Europe is the future of our union. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much. I think this is an area for compromise. Spain is happy, if I understand this, the wishes of also some other countries to maintain mostly this budget. I would just like to emphasize the connecting energy part. I think I've heard from basically every member state how important the green transition is. The Iberian Peninsula is in perfect position to become a green energy exporter in the coming decades, yet the energy connectedness between especially the Spanish and French border is in horrible condition. And I think if Spain and Portugal would both become green energy exporters in Europe, that would be a strategic interest of every EU member state. Think about the anxiety of not knowing where our energy comes from. If we have an EU member state who does this in a green way, I think would be beneficial to everyone. So a slight increase or a shift from transport by 1 billion to the energy is proposed by Spain. So 6.84 and 11.83. Right, from the 12.83 of transport down one down to energy.
I'm not agree with move it. I think that all the headings inside European strategic investments are important, but we can increase it because we have increased the budget and we can put a bit of money there too. And I'm also with Netherlands to increase the research and innovation because I think that it's such as important to increase this part. And I want to ask all of you if there anyone that wants to reduce any of the parts of this heading, because if not, all gonna be agree with maintain or increase some parts. Denmark, please.
Another 3 rounds: Lithuania, Denmark, and Romania.
Okay, Lithuania is proposing a 6 billion increase that will follow percentage-wise. So this 6 billion will go mainly to research and innovation, strategic investment, single market, and also space. So that Finland is also happy with space. And also, we would like to hear of what other Baltic countries might think of this increase.
So I want to say that since we have 21 billions and more, we can put them in all the headings. So keep in mind that we can distribute them. And since that, I want to say that for Denmark, the most important things are innovation, research, and digitalization. So if we put some money here for Denmark, the 2 most important ones are Horizon Europe and InvestEU. So if we accept the proposal from Lithuania, maybe we can put maybe 3 billions for each of these projects. That's it.
Okay, sorry. For what concerns Romania, Romania says that we understand that some countries might think of innovation and digital and single market as priority, but for us it's not really a priority. What we wanted to say still is that we might consider to increase it only with some conditionalities, and in this case it would be a geographical conditionality. So basically we would think about approving an increase of it if, and only if, a 5% shift. There is a 5% reservation of the Horizon Europe funds. So basically it's just 4.7 billion for innovation that caters and interests Eastern and Southern European countries. As we all know that like these countries are the most, like the countries where there is the least expenses over innovation. And also we wanted to say that we might consider a reallocation from common agricultural policy of 1/2% only if this reallocation is like it goes to digital agriculture initiatives, which we really care about, and like it's a main priority for us, the point of agriculture. Thanks.
I thought we were discussing single market innovation and digital, so I don't know why we talk about the CAP or the...
I know, it's just like so they can already know that I might be available to compromise, to shift from that to this.
Okay.
To like if they want that, then I need like a specific area.
Okay. Hungary, Sweden, no? And Estonia, because you've been asked by Lithuania. Okay.
Okay.
Hungary.
Hungary totally agree with Romania because cohesion funds and CAP remains our priority. And we understand that research and innovation is for the long term. And Hungary can agree with the rest of the members if they want to increase research and innovation. But we must keep in mind that single markets for Eastern European countries that are the poorest, single markets is more an asset for advanced economy. So we must keep in mind our priority. And maybe Hungary will want to decrease single markets.
Sorry. Expanding into new markets can be costly for a company, even just moving from member states to another. Estonian business would benefit from practical business expansion to help them access where and how to expand into the single market based on their area of activity. In building new interconnection, we need to work together, especially with Baltic states, Poland, and Nordic countries, to ensure that our interests are taken into account. One of Estonia's European Union's policy priority is improving connectivity in Estonia and linking Estonia with the rest of the world would facilitate by common EU rules, according to which the planning and construction of data continues to should start. And we are planning to also increase the budget from the other parts of the single market, innovation, and digital if we have the chance to. So we agree with Lithuania and our partnerships and member states.
To that side, and I will do Denmark, Croatia, and Belgium, and then I will move to this side, okay?
I will be very quick. I just want to remember every member state that by increasing innovation and digitalization, all the countries will benefit from that, because even if a country is now underdeveloped in those areas, by funding special projects about innovation and digitalization, then those countries could reach sooner the better position for Europe by being more digitalized, and so by finding new ways to increase the other areas of their nations, their countries. So even single market could benefit from that, because by innovation and new technologies, we can improve the single market by, new products. That's it. Just remember that by innovating and digitalization, we can do better.
Okay, going back to the proposal from before of giving money, putting money that will be returned, all this stuff, I have calculations that are a bit complicated to explain. I'll give you all of the calculations are on the Excel sheet if you want to check them out, and I can explain them a bit later. But in general, with an interest rate of 3.05, which is an average, the interest rate is negotiated between the EIC and the recipient based on the year. So it's an interest rate that we take as a baseline. Then we would invest 20 billion on the research and innovation Horizon Europe line, so 20 plus billion. By 2027, we would receive back 0.5, so like 0.5 billion. Then this is calculated based on a return rate. After the third year, you start getting the returns. On the three lines, some of the lines are returned in 5 years, some of the lines are returned in 7 years. Just to recap, we invest 20 billion now. We receive by 2027 0.5 billion back. Whatever the member states contributed, get it back. And then from here until the next MFF, we start receiving all of the loans back, and they're given back to the member states in rebates. So in the balance sheet, it looks like we have 19.5 billion invested, and through the next MFF, you get it back, plus 3.05% interest.
I'm not interested in what goes on the next MFF, and I think we already reached an agreement and we need to finalize. Thanks for the calculations, but I think we need to be efficient considering what we've gone through in the past 2 hours and a half. So let's focus on what's on the table and continue from there. Belgium, I think you were going to say the same. I hope you were going to say the same.
Yes, I was going to start saying the same. I was going to thank all the tangible solutions that were coming at first. I was going to say that difficult to explain or not clear proposals kind of push us farther from making an agreement. We would like to stress that the budget has been increased 21 billion, which is a lot of money, enough to increase many different headings and subheadings. I would like to stress also that the geographical conditionality doesn't seem too clear, the same as the proposal that Croatia said, so we are currently not going to discuss it. And we would like to take back and talk about Lithuania's proposal about actually putting 6 million inside this heading and reallocating between research and innovation, which seems to be the most popular subheading amongst them all, and also a strategic investment and space program. Thank you.
Good, I will go to the other side of the table. I think Italy wanted to talk, the Netherlands, and, well, Lithuania and Sweden, okay, the four of you. So Italy, Netherlands, Lithuania, and Sweden. Portugal, you have to wait for the next round.
Granted the opportunity that has been given by these 21 billions, we believe that spending 6 on this heading is not the right choice. We proposed 3, spending 3 on this heading, and we will distribute it in the following way. We'll spend 1 in research and innovation, 0.5 in the European strategic investments, recognizing that these two have already funds from the Next Generation Fund, so there are more money going through. And then 1.5 in the single market that doesn't get any fundings from the Next Generation. And we think that it could work with a nice boost for all the countries to have a stronger connections with each other and market improvements.
Well, I might actually agree with you, Italy, on this. I think that 6 million is a bit much, but I would agree on, as you said, maybe 3 billion, sorry. I agree to spend maybe more in innovation, so maybe 1.5 on this, and also in strategic investment and single market, especially for the anti-fraud program, because as we talked before, I think that if we're augmenting this, raising this budget a bit more, we will reduce fraud in the future. So I don't know if you will agree on this, but 3, and we can maybe talk about 4 billion for the specific heading, we might maybe reach an agreement.
We've been talking about this for 15 minutes now. So I suggest that the next words or the next participations or the next member states that take the floor are hoping to move towards a compromise.
Yeah, okay, so Lithuania's proposal of increasing 6 billion percentage-wise, I believe will make everybody who has spoken about this heading happy, in the sense that Denmark gets the better end of this money into research and innovation and strategic investments. Romania also will see less into single market, and also Italy wanted to put money into single market, while Netherlands wanted to put it into anti-fraud program. So what I think will be better would be invested in the single market, but into the EU anti-fraud program. And instead of the 6 billion that was initially proposed, I'll say that meeting in a halfway point of 4.5 billion to be divided percentage-wise. If I can see a show of hands who is happy with this proposal. Can you repeat the proposal? 4.5 billion. In absolute terms, 4.5 billion means. Yeah, research, how much goes to strategic investment, how much goes to single market. Okay, so it's 94, 33. 7 and 15. If we account for the percentage, it's still divided by this. If somebody in the meanwhile wants to speak and give his opinion, dude, somebody eliminated? Yeah, so it was 4.5 billion increase percentage-wise, which is 94, 33, 6.5, let's say, and 15. which is la suma. Okay, who's moving the? Can somebody please stop moving the Excel, please? I don't know. Okay, thank you. Why doesn't it get me? This way, no, this way, not that one.
The 63% goes to research and innovation. 63% out of 4.5, how much?
I know that's what I'm trying to do.
2.8. 2.8
2.8.
billion to research and innovation.
Yeah.
¿Vale?
¿Alguien está moviendo el Excel? Yes.
3 point what? 3.8. 3.8 plus 1 million, 4.8, and then to single market, 0.7. And no money to space, Finland.
No, it's percentage-wise between all the subheadings, I believe. Or are you okay with? Are you okay with maintaining space?
I'm
A second.
to maintain it.
You see, he's happy to maintain
So we can
space.
skip
So
space.
it's just as you said, and we can move to the.
All of that is increasing, maybe I can increase just a bit.
700.
I mean, increase all except the space.
400.
We can.
50,000 is for you in the space, and then the other 350 are in single market.
Yeah.
So 3.8, 1, 350,000, by 300, 350,000, 450,000.
You said 2.8 in research and innovation. 1 in strategic and 3.8.
So it's the 4 and a half billion. Okay.
450 for space. Million, not
Yeah.
350 or 250, sorry, to single market. 1 billion to European strategic investments, 2.8 to research and innovation. That's Lithuania's proposal. Next time, I won't be doing the maths, okay?
Yeah. Sorry, it's somebody was moving.
Romania, you look very, very worried about something.
Yeah, the space, I think it's just intolerable, the fact that you want to increase the space, because we already spent like 15 billions on the space and much less on the single market, which I think for all of us is much more important than the space. So like, I see no point in increasing the space. Like, if you want to add, which I'm not agreeing on the proposal of Lithuania, but like, if you all agree, then that quantity that we want to increase in the space, I want to move it somewhere else, like the single market or research and innovation. I don't agree with the space.
Finland for allegations, and then
So,
France.
I was not agree accepting new funds. I am agree with increase all the others, but my increase is just significantly. So please, let me have it. It's also important.
About 15 billions are way more than enough.
And
I would not tolerate bilateral dialogues. So, France, the floor is yours.
Thanks. I think it's important to keep in mind that things like the space program or Euratom or the ITER have a physical component to them that increases the budget. So in order to make simulations, experiments, and build new spacecrafts or whatever, they need a bigger investment that will later be returned to the civil society by ways of innovations, ways of bettering systems that we already have in place. And in that sense, I would more than agree with Lithuania's proposition, as long as some part of the research and innovation investments would go into Euratom and ITER, both of which are crucial to the future of European energy. I would like to remind that Sweden, the Czech Republic, Bulgaria, Romania, Hungary, Poland, Slovakia, Finland, and us are building new reactors and have in mind building more even in the future. So whatever steps are taken to make them better and produce more energy are fundamental to us.
And greener and safer. Do not forget that.
Yes.
We're reaching minute 25 or 26 of this heading. Denmark and Italy, we have a proposal on the table, by the way.
I want to speed up the process because we are losing too much time. So if we want to increase also single market, we can take 300 million from the proposition of Lithuania. We can take 300 million from the research and innovation. So putting 2.5 in research and innovation and put the remaining 300 million to single market. So doing that, exactly. And by that, we have the compromise on increasing the single market. So I want to ask all the member states if this is the proposals that we are talking about, if we can agree on that, and by reaching the end, so we can move on the other heading, because...
The proposal is the following: 6 billion increase, sorry, 4.5 billion increase from, because Lithuania has accepted the small reduction of his earlier proposal, and then 2.5 billion, they go to research and innovation. If they go to Euratom or not, that's something that we can discuss. Then 1 billion goes to strategic investments. Then 550 million go to single market, and 450 million go to the space program. That's basically the proposal. Who is in favor of this proposal? Bulgaria is not in favor, and they wanted to say something. What did you want to say, Bulgaria? I mean, it seems a pretty obvious agreement, but I want to hear the people that are not agreeing with it.
Yeah, so for us, like 4.5 billion is too much. I mean, it's like the 25% of the total that we have. So first of all, we were talking about Finland and the space program. For us, it's like too much, as Romania said. We believe that 15 billion is more than enough. And Lithuania said that 4.5 billion to increase. Okay, I mean, for us it has to be less, maybe like 3 billion. We need some of this billion in European strategic investments, especially in connecting European facility, energy, digital and transport. I mean, just 1 billion out of these 4.5 that you said, for us is not enough. We need more there, because for us it's more important European strategic investments than the research and innovation, because I mean, we don't have the same privileged position that you all have, countries like Lithuania, France, Denmark, so it's something to be said.
From Italy, we would like to ask the countries that are against this proposition, what would be the conditionality that you would agree to this proposal, and, for example, in other headings to accept other agreements? For example, I don't know if you would like more funding on cohesion or something like that.
Romania already said that earlier, talking about natural resources, if I'm not mistaken, right?
And also migration and in general cohesion funds.
Okay. And Bulgaria, can you answer Italy's question?
Yeah,
please?
basically what she said, for us it's so important, migration and cohesion funds. So, I mean, she said also that the geographical conditionality for us it would be nice for countries like Bulgaria and Romania, but I mean, Belgium didn't like that.
Well, the thing is, it's not that Belgium didn't like it. What Belgium was saying is, who places the who limits? Is it Hungary Eastern, or is Poland Eastern, or Germany also Eastern?
It's easy. It's the Black Sea and the Rhodope Mountains. I mean, this area is...
So you, essentially.
No, and Romania also. I mean, Romania and Bulgaria, we are so similar countries, so...
Yeah, I totally agree. But the thing is, when you if you propose a geographical, you can just mention the name, the countries that would be included in this. And it's not clear. And it
Greece.
might.
Also Greece, but he's not here.
Ah, okay. I would just well, that's what Belgium said. Belgium didn't say it's not in favor of this. It's not a clear proposal. Italy, you've been answered your question, so
Yeah, so our proposal would be to follow with the next heading and be more sensible to your proposals following up, and so we can continue the discussion.
Yes.
Just one thing. I mean, we are using the 25% of the total here. I mean, we believe that it's too much.
Yeah, but you most of the people here, most of the member states have agreed on this, and they are telling you, or they are compromising, not just saying, that they will be more sensitive to your proposals in future headings.
Yeah, but we are following with this the discussion. It's just a mere trimmed to follow up, and then we can continue to more.
So, do we finalize the proposal on this heading regarding the 4.5 increase out of the 21 billion, which that would make 16.5 billion left. As Bulgaria was saying, 75% of your increase still able to be managed. So now, heading 1 ends like this, right?
Before ending the heading, I would ask for the subheading of the atomic research to be voted.
Yeah. So there's, well, let me rearrange numbers and now we discuss this. Okay, so we would say the single market innovation digital heading, 1 second please, would be to 154, right? If I'm not mistaken, the total, 154 billion, right? We will increase to 96.32 billion in research and innovation. Is that correct? Then it will be 33.98 billion in strategic investments. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Now we have 7.1 billion in single market, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And it is 15 million point 600 billion. No, 15.6 billion in space. Is that correct? We all agree on this? Okay, great. Now, France is asking, I think in a very polite way, if out of the 96.32, we can see a small increase in the Euratom budget. Is that correct?
Yes, from the 2 billion that we received.
From the 2.5 that we received.
2.5.
What would be a good number for you?
Putting 0.6 towards the Euratom and 0.4 towards the ITER.
So 1 billion
1 billion
out of the 2.5
yes.
into Euratom and ITER.
Yes.
That's the proposal. Be clear with the proposal, please. Don't say, well, I would like Euratom to be increased. No, go for it, okay? Because if not, we don't finish and I have to do numbers and maths all the time. So this is the proposal. Everybody agrees on this proposal?
Could we show hands, please? Those in favor?
It's not as unanimous as before.
Okay, those against?
Those against? Ooh.
I guess it doesn't pass.
See? Everybody agrees on this?
If we agree on that, is that there's no parts go to Euratom and EAR?
There's 1 billion going to the two of them.
Are we agreeing that, so?
Well, it's 1 million splitted, so half and half.
more or less.
Yes. So could we vote them separately?
So
Maybe that changes
the
something.
Horizon Europe amount at the end becomes 87.6.
Yeah.
See? See? Finish? What, Denmark? What's your problem?
No, I mean, the minority of the people is for his proposal. So,
No, I think it was tight, no?
That I said if we are doing or not, because I think that there are more people that says that not to put this
Okay,
amount of money
can you
there.
please raise your hands? Not like this, but raise your hands. Who is in favor of France's proposal? 8, no, 9. Who's against? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So nobody is agreeing with you. It's okay? But, so how we distribute this 2.5? Evenly? Percentage-wise? See? Proportionate? Okay. Good. So it stays as I mentioned. Yes, Croatia.
Maybe for you, the calculations are, we have an Excel sheet that we're sharing. If you want the calculations there,
It's okay. I don't want the calculations. No. It's too much for me.
then you do the maths yourself.
I do the maths myself. Now, we have 16.5 billion to redistribute and 3 more headings and only 1 hour and 10 minutes. So we need to be more sensitive, time sensitive, if you ask me, in order to continue. Now, this is going to be also a very long and complicated discussion, so can we please focus on the cohesion, resilience, and values? This is something very important for the Commission. As you can imagine, there's no need for me to say that because it represents probably the #1 heading of this budget, which implies that it is important for all of us, okay? Since it is important for all of us, can we have a mature and objective-oriented negotiation, okay? So the proposal of the Commission is 426.69 billion, distribute, as you can see here, with most of the money going to regional and development funds, as you know, and part of the recovery and resilience, which is based on the next generation funds, we need to put it somewhere. This is a very small amount, so it's not a big deal, but please don't touch it because we have to manage 800 billion. So don't try to squeeze 400,000 million from this, if you understand. And then investing in people, social and cohesion values, it is important for us, as you can imagine, because it's also an important part. See, clear? Italy.
So for starters, regarding that we have left 16.5 billion from the initial increase, we propose splitting 7 billion in cohesion, 7 billion in natural resources, and then 2.5 in migration for starters. So we have an orientation of what increase we can spend in this heading and making it clear from the beginning. This is a proposal. If you have any other
7.5, 7.5, no, 7, 7, and 2.5. Yes. 7 in cohesion, 7 in natural resources, 2.5 in migration and border management. Nobody agrees. France agrees. Well, yeah, but not everybody else. I see people very upset in Bulgaria and all those parts of the world, and Croatia. So you mentioned that you wanted to give, you understand that Bulgaria and Romania are giving up some stuff, so we need to listen to them at least. At least I want to be focused on your words. Croatia.
I believe 7 for cohesion is good. I don't think 7 for like the rest is well redistributed. I do believe that there's way more challenges in migration that I think 2.5 is not going to be enough. So I agree on the 7 for cohesion, and when it comes to cohesion, 100%, I think 7 is a good number. When it comes to the rest, I think we should discuss a bit more. I think migration specifically is something that is a pressing issue for most of the countries.
Bulgaria as an affected.
Well, you said that you will have some consideration to us, so now it's the time to do it. We believe that we need at least like 5 or 6 billion to the migration heading. 2.5, it's almost nothing for us. So we need to talk about 5-6 billion on the immigration fund.
Spain and Sweden. You cannot talk at the same time because you're sharing microphones, so please.
We're sensitive to your remarks, Bulgaria. I think we can move forward with 7 billion for this heading. Yes. A similar proposal I have brought forward in past negotiations is that we split this 7 million increase between the ERDF, which you see as the first subheading, and the European Social Fund Plus. It had near unanimous support in past negotiations. Are there any strong oppositions now?
So Spain is suggesting to agree on the 7 billion. Then the other 12, you guys deal with it. Or the other 11 and a half, you guys deal with it in a different way. Well, this year, step by step. Spain has said 7 billion, and Bulgaria has said, and Croatia have said that 7 billion in cohesion funds is okay. Is it okay for everybody? See? Finland, yes.
I just want to ask, where you are saying migration, you are also accepting the border management? Okay.
No.
Yeah.
It's 7 billion for research, for cohesion funds. So out of 16.5, I go -7. And now we have 9.5 left to play with, but first...
Could we do a show of hands?
I don't think there's a need for this. Everybody agrees on this, right? And now what you guys don't agree, probably, which is understandable, is how we distribute the 7 billion. Because most of you would put all the money on Erasmus, I understand. But some of you won't. So can we say that we only have 7 billion to play with this in this heading? Everybody agrees on that? Yes? Belgium? Okay. That's my point of support. Now, 7 billion. How do you want to distribute 7 billion around this heading? Spain has proposed something. Can you repeat the proposal? Because we have agreed on one thing, then let's agree on thing number 2.
Fantastic. Let's agree on this another thing. It was, again, 3.5 million to the regional, the ERDF, and 3.5 million to the ESF Plus, which is the first heading of the third subgroup. Is everyone? Yeah, plus, right. 3.5, 3.5, a 50-50 split.
Spain is saying 3.5 in the first subheading of the first allocation and 3.5 on the first subheading of the third allocation. See? Understand? Okay. Belgium is not very happy. Bulgaria is not very happy. Croatia, Austria, I didn't see you. But if you do like this, I don't. So Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, and then we go with Croatia and Czech Republic. So these 5 countries on this side will reply to the proposal coming from Spain. Clear? So just when you finish, the following one, okay? So please, Austria, what are you going to say?
I think we should redistribute this 7 billion in the following line. 4 billion on regional development and cohesion, and I propose 2 billion to European Regional Development Fund because it's one of my key areas. Then 1.3 billion on recover and resilience, especially in recover and the resilience facility. And finally, 1.7 billion in investing in people, social cohesion and values.
We don't mention recovery and resilience. We said that we
Okay.
don't touch those
Okay.
because there's
So-
725 billion to deal with.
3 billion, but-
So
okay,
it's
so 3 billion in investing in people, social cohesion and values, especially 1.5 billion European Social Fund and 1.5 billion in Erasmus+.
Thank you. So we thank everyone's efforts to try to say precise numbers in all subheadings. The main reason that we don't really like Spain's proposal is because we think that it gives money only to like the very big funds, and Belgium is very concerned that in the climate of political and media polarization in Europe, there's not enough media diversity and plurality. So we would actually like to see even a small increase in like the last subheading inside investing in people, social cohesion and values, which is justice, citizens, equality, rights and values for media and plurality, which is under that fund, as I have read. And we would like to also tell everyone that we are very, very strong supporters of the rule of law conditionality, which seems to be also being debated in this heading. Thank you.
Well, we said that we're going to put 3.5 on the first heading, on regional development and cohesion. So we believe that we need some money on the cohesion fund and also a little bit of help on the support of the Turkish Cypriot community. Basically because, Bulgaria is an Orthodox country. We believe that Cyprus is Greek. If Greece was here, it would be nice, but it's not the case. And we also want to have Turkey happy because it's our neighbors and we need them to be happy for the immigration and other things that come together. I'm so sorry, but that's it.
the 3.5 or the 4, whatever we decide, to put some money on the support to the Turkish Cypriot community. I understand your point. Croatia.
I believe what's a bit easier is instead of debating ERDF, cohesion, support to Turkish Cypriot community, justice, citizens, whatever, let's do proportional. Let's speak how much goes into regional development and cohesion, and how much goes in investing in people, social cohesion, and values. In this case, we have 2 proposals so far. Spain, if we do it proportional, it's 3.5, 3.5. Austria's proposal is 4 in regional development and 3 in investing in people, etc. And then distributed proportional. Yes.
Yeah, but if we do it proportionate, it's not the same amount as she suggested, but just in case.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. The bigger split is like that. Then, of course, it's different because I'm saying mainly because of the other 2 proposals. The first one of Belgium of increasing the last line, and the one of yes, maybe doing it all proportional could be a way of just speaking smaller numbers, let's say,
and making everybody happy. Czech Republic.
Yes. I mainly agree with the Spain proposal, but I would also prioritize cohesion fund in the first heading, regional development and cohesion. So I will split the 7 billion in 4 billions into regional development and cohesion, in which
She said 3.5.
Oh,
4
sorry.
is best. 4 is Austria.
Sorry. Okay, so with a bit of a edit. 4 billions goes into the first heading, in which 2 billions goes into European Regional Development Fund, and the others choose in Cohesion Fund. And then the rest, 3 billions, goes in the last heading, specifically into European Social Fund.
Yes.
And I think it could meet basically most of us' interests. So
Over here, Spain, you've been mentioned a couple of times.
Yes, I understand all your interests. Can I just quickly see who would prefer a 50-50 split? Who would, show of hands? Who would prefer a 60-40 or 60-40, 65-35 with a skew towards regional development fund? Who would prefer that? I'm happy to move forward with that.
Yes, Denmark.
I'm proposing that, as Croatia said, if we can proportionally divide the amount of money, maybe it's better because every country has national interests. So every subheading will be discussed, and then we can finish.
So you're talking about the future, not now only.
I'm talking about, okay, we agreed on 4 billions on regional development and cohesion, 3 billion and 3 billions investing in people, and then those 4 and those 3 are equally distributed, proportionally distributed in the subheadings, and without doing the maths, because we don't need it, and we can move forward, because if not, every country has interest in some subheading, and then we will never reach an agreement.
No, every country puts the effort on where they believe they need to put their effort, and it's not the same putting money to Erasmus than putting money to Creative Europe.
Yeah.
So if somebody has I understand your point, For the sake of reaching an agreement, it's better what you're saying, but we need to give room to those member states that have certain national
but
priorities.
also there is another thing. With the actual proposal given by the Commission, it's already distributed in a way that has a sense. So by raising all the subheadings, it has a sense because it's already has a sense. So doing our interests, but for the sake of the community, also we can move on.
Okay.
That's what I say.
France, Hungary.
I think that
And Finland.
instead of dividing the new apportations equally, we can respect the percentages that they are distributed now. So maintaining this, we can distribute the 3 million. Maybe I haven't calculated, but if the first funding is 80%, then 80% of those 3 million would go there. If the second one is 10%, then 10% would go there. I think it's a good way of respecting what has already been proposed and not wasting time discussing.
Let me remind the representative of France that we had to spend time discussing Euratom and ITER in previous hearings. So
they were crucial. I
okay.
don't think that putting more money into Erasmus is.
So Euratom is crucial. Erasmus for Austria is crucial. So please respect the position of all the member states. Hungary.
Okay, so the proposition of Hungary is to put more money in regional development and cohesion. So our proposition by numbers is to put 5 million in regional development and cohesion.
5 now, but didn't we agree on the 4 million proposal?
I don't know, but it was big. Hungary wants to give less money in investing people because when we discussed about single market, the argument of Denmark, it was, okay, you need also innovation, but if we want to benefit from innovation, we need at the beginning to develop our infrastructure, our building, and to have modernization thanks to Cohesion Fund and European Regional Development Fund. So just to be consistent.
Yes, and there is more money going to the regional development funds than going to the investing in people. We had two proposals on the table, and Spain asked publicly to raise hands in which of the two proposals the member states were happier. Meaning that if Spain accepted that his proposal was not good enough, and he or the member state accepted Austria's proposal. But we cannot, if we keep adding new proposals, this will never end. So, in your interest, more money out of the 7 billion is put in regional development funds than in investing people in social. So, at the end of the day, you are also, or you're supposed to be happy with the distribution of the fundings. Okay? Finland.
Okay, agree with the proposal now, but I want to emphasize that the councils accept last month to cut in 295 million euros the Erasmus Plus, and now we are saying to increase it. I mean, we accorded to reduce it because we have headings that are more important or parts that are more crucial, and we accept it, and now we are saying to increase it when we accept to decrease it. I mean, maybe if it remains all it is still, it can be okay. But if not, the proportional distribution, it can be okay too.
Spain, Sweden, and Italy, and then we will go to the other side.
Finland, I agree with you that for me there are more important headings than Erasmus, but Austria has shown goodwill in improving the budget, has shown goodwill in allocating. I think there is okay to allocate some to Erasmus as well. May I also offer stronger rule of law conditionality as something I remember that's been asked for in the past, and then maybe we can skew it a bit back towards a European Social Fund with Erasmus. We agreed now to 3 million, maybe we can say 2.2, 0.7, and then the justice was something Belgium wanted, 0.3 maybe, plus the stronger conditionality of rule of law. And I also think we're capable of reaching an agreement. I think across the board, there's more of an emphasis on the Regional Development Fund than the Cohesion Fund. And then we can offer Bulgaria some money for the Turkish community, right? I wanted to first, if we can move forward with this in this direction, or if there's strong opposition.
Well, you need to move forward because it's 6:15.
Is there strong opposition?
And we have two other headings to discuss, and we will be kicked out of this room at 7. And I also have a family. Sweden.
So I'll be concise. I just want to remind people that we are in union, and it's a negotiation, so the goal is to come to a compromise. No one will be 100% happy at the end of this day, so let's agree to some compromise. I haven't had my goal all the way. Nobody has his goal all the way, so it's just the goal is to compromise and negotiate. So we have to move forward, even if we're not 100% happy. Let's move forward.
I said Italy, and then we go to the other side.
We would like to remember Finland that we gave money to your space program, so you should let Austria have the Erasmus rights. And so basically everyone is agreeing in splitting 4-3 and then proportionally in each case. Is anyone against it? Bulgaria? Against it? Okay. If you could
It's like something 50-50. I mean, it's really quick. If we do proportional spend on the first heading, the support to the Turkish Cypriot community would be 193 million. I mean, you would only give 3 million to the Turkish Cypriot community. So thanks to Croatia that did the numbers. So I mean, 3 million, it's nothing. We believe that it should not be proportional, because 3 million, it's absolutely nothing in a total of 7 billion. So maybe...
No. It would be less than 3. So essentially...
Millions. I'm talking about millions.
Millions. Well, yeah, 3 million.
But I mean, if you proportionally, it would go from 0.19 to 0.193.
No,
Yeah.
it would be 21, 22.
No. At least 250 to
But-
make me happy.
We need to find some middle ground between this proposition that we personally believe as Italy is a little bit disproportionate, and maybe let's focus our shared interest in raising the migration heading.
Yeah, but you're all talking about billions. I'm talking about millions. It's nothing for you.
Yeah,
And
but
it would be so nice to me.
I mean, it's nothing for me, no. So I'm not like all the union, but if everyone agrees, maybe you just have to compromise.
This is not a dialogue, though, by the way. So, Belgium, please.
I would like to close this discussion. So, if it is possible, I would like to go acknowledging that we have, it was 4 and 3, right? So, going from each subheading, agreeing yes and no would be like, are we interested in increasing this one, yes or no? And then we close it like that, if it's possible.
No, it's not possible.
Okay,
Because
then nothing.
this is not, we're not voting here. I mean, you need to understand that there are things that are important for somebody and things that are less important for other people. But essentially, you will get, the idea is that you live here satisfied, minimally satisfied. Okay, so yeah, we can, if we vote every time, it's easier for me to say, increase or no increase? Yes or no? Yes, vale. 5 million, sí, 3, no, venga, adeu. That would be very easy. But the idea of discussing is that some member states empathize, and then some other are sensitive to the other people's needs. Essentially, that's what it is, because voting, it's very easy for me.
Okay, so.
You have to,
Okay.
have agreed on everything by the majority voting all the time, which is, I don't know how fair it is for Spain that maybe big countries like Germany were agreeing with his proposal, and because the other people are more states but less people, and we are accepting that. But this cannot be the dynamic of this discussion. Voting cannot be the dynamic of this discussion. As simple as that. Denmark and then Spain.
I want to ask to the Commission if we can move to the final agreement by raising our hands and don't talk more about this heading, because we already have a proposal and I've seen a majority raising our hands, so there is no matter in going after each subheading. So please, Commission, can we raise our hand and reach an agreement on this heading and move to heading 3?
Spain.
I also ask to the other member states if we
I
can.
believe there is consensus even for in the subheadings. I would like to offer one. If there's no consensus, I agree that we should move on. May I offer the exact distribution?
Yeah.
Yes.
The proposal is the.
It's the 4-3, and now it's about how
exactly 4-3 and then proportional.
Yes.
Can we vote?
No, can I say?
There's no need to vote. Everybody
No, no,
agrees
no.
on that, or no?
Can we go?
For me, I think given everyone's interest and movement towards special interests, I would say out of the 4 for the regional and development cohesion, we put 2.5 to the ERDF, 1.3 to the cohesion fund, and 0.2, yes, to the Turkish community. Then for the other subheading, I would say a fair split would be 2.2 to the ESF plus, 0.4 or 5 to the Erasmus with strong conditionality across the board, and 0.2 for the justice, equality, rights, and values. Is there strong opposition to this proposal?
What did you mean by strong conditionality on the Erasmus heading?
No, I mean across the board, member states have asked for a rule of law conditionality on cohesion funds. I think that can be incorporated into this proposal. It was not meant for Erasmus specifically.
Yeah, but as much as I want to reach an agreement, the conditionality is very vague the way you are presenting it. If you ask me, sorry, I don't want to make it last.
I
for
understand.
ages.
Is there agreement without the conditionality? Can I get a raise of hands without the conditionality?
Agreement without the conditionality. So those who want conditionality are Austria, Belgium, Denmark, and a few others back there, Netherlands, right? What is the conditionality that you are suggesting? Because I hear the word conditionality, rule of law conditionality. Can we be specific on how much it conditions the resources, please? Belgium?
So the conditionality was already defined by the presidency of Charles Michel when he proposed the conditionality in the negotiation box. It basically means that the Commission can propose corrective measures to be approved by the Council by qualified majority voting in case the implementation of any of the EU funds seem to be compromised by breaches in the rule of law treaty of the Venice Commission that was agreed by the European Union. Secondly, the Court of Auditors can also call out such breaches. And lastly, the proposal of an increase of the funding of the rule of law values projects to be made through additional financing of the European Public Prosecutor's Office and the Justice, Rights and Values Program.
Thank you. Is everybody aware now of what rule of law conditionality means? See? Was everybody aware of what rule of law conditionality meant before Belgium read it? See? Vale. Now, who wants to introduce rule of law conditionality to this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Germany is there, France is there, so it's 10, so it's half of it, and 2 of the biggest countries are there. So if the conditionality is to be based on qualified majority voting, at this moment, the qualified majority voting says that the conditionality needs to be applied. Is that okay? So we have an increase of 7 billion, and we split 4 billion in the first heading, 3 billion in the third subheading. Is that correct? And then we apply the rule of law conditionality to all the cohesion funds, or only one of the 2 headings? All of them. To all of them, including investing and building social cohesion funds.
I would hope that also makes I see some overlap with the countries who want conditionality and to have the rebates. I hope there is you understand what some countries you are giving up, just mentioning.
Okay, making sure that some countries are making an effort accepting these conditionalities. That's what Spain's trying to say. So if we go back to the rebates again, keep that in your mind. Essentially, that's what it is. So the subheading, the heading, it's in 433.99, and the first subheading is 278.27, and the third subheading is 133.73 billion. Is that correct? And the rule of law conditionality applies to all the heading. Vale, okay, next. Wonderful. Yes, Sweden. What? Yes, I was going to say, let's go to the next heading. And just for you to know, out of the 21 million you've generated from your people's taxes, let me emphasize that, are only 9.5 left. Okay? Everybody agree on the distribution of this fund? And anybody wants to add some money onto this or no? Sweden, you were the first one to raise your hand, and Croatia the second one, Netherlands and Poland next. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Vale? Please, Sweden.
So for us, it's a very important heading, and we are aware that a lot of countries do not maybe share the same subheading as us. So with the money that we have raised with the 21 billion, the money that we raised in the beginning, I'm not good with number, I'm in social science. So what Sweden could propose is a 5 million, 5 billion increase in in the heading in general, but we are asking for 1.5 billion to go into climate action. The 3.5 will go into the agriculture and maritime policy, but environment and climate action, we would like to have a 1.5 billion in that subheading.
So basically...
Oh, and if I can add, no, I will keep that card.
Okay, now Croatia and then Netherlands and Poland.
On one hand, I fully agree with, I think we do need to raise in climate action. As I said before, I think that based on the previous proposal of Italy of 2.5 being too little for migration, I agree, but I also think that 7 billion is a good number for cultural, like agriculture. So here's where we use the card of the rebates. I do believe that the budget needs to be a bit higher. I do agree that climate action is needed. I think that all of the countries that are subject to rebates will agree that climate action is necessary. If possible, I would like to match the same contribution of before of 1 point. How much is it for the climate action? 1.5.
1.5.
Okay. If possible, those 1.5 come from the rebates, and then the rest of the subheading stays in agriculture and maritime policy. Essentially, the rebate money is invested in climate action, so it's essentially a long-term investment, something that all of the countries, but especially the countries that receive rebates, are interested in. And then we keep the rest of the headings as they exist currently. That would be a proposal.
5 billion to agriculture and maritime policy coming from the 21 that we raised, and then the 1.5 going to climate comes from the rebates of these
Yes.
of the countries. Okay, I understood. Netherlands and wait, you have to wait.
No, but correction on what the Commission has said.
What?
It's 5 billion it's 5 billion in general, and 1.5 to climate, and 3.5 to the maritime.
No.
Okay, with the
According to
Croatian.
what
Okay,
he
sorry.
says, no.
I thought we were still speaking about the initial.
Netherlands and Poland.
Thank you. Well, I do not agree with you, Croatia, mainly because I think that environment and climate action is very important. That's why I will go back on what Italy said in the previous heading, that I think that 7 billion should be included in this specific heading, and I would like to split it to 4 billion in agriculture and maritime policy, because I know that it's very important for most of the country, and I would like to put 3 billion in environment and climate action. And for agriculture and maritime policy, I would like maybe a raise in European maritime fisheries and aquaculture fund, because we will be very grateful if we had more funds in that to improve our fishing market. Thank you.
So we have a new proposal on the table. Instead of 5, we go 7. Or not, because if we go from 5 plus 1.5 from the rebates, it's actually 7. So it's increasing 7. The only difference is one, it's increasing strictly from the 21 million that we raised. The other way is raising 7 by 5 million from the money we raised, plus 2 coming from the rebates. 2 or 1.8, 2, because it makes it easy. That's the two proposals now on the table. Poland, do you want to propose something else?
I want to agree with Sweden, because I think that 5 billion is enough for the natural resource and environment, because we don't have to forget about the migration that we have to deal later. And
You are very worried about migration.
yes. And it's a concern that is the last one, but I will accept the order. And about the natural resources, we want to invest the half of money in just transition fund in environment and climate action, because Poland doesn't dispose of all the infrastructures and technologies to allow a green transition. So if we receive the money that we have and we invest in the infrastructures that we have now, we will lose like money because there are a lot of empty spaces that not will be filled up with that money. So firstly, we have to invest in these infrastructures and technologies, and then we will talk later about that. Then we have to consider that we have a lot of conditions to respect. We have the European goal of climate neutrality by 2015, European climate goals for 2013, and the Paris Agreement. So all these conditions are very dangerous for Poland because if we don't respect this strategic investment in the future, we don't will have more funds. So we are very concerned about that.
We are really concerned on implementing the Green Deal, and that requires certain conditionalities to all the countries, because if we look to the other side, then we will never be able to reach the 55% of carbon dioxide reduction, etc., etc. So I see your point, I understand, but the thing is that these conditionalities have been there for a reason, because for a bigger picture, if you allow me to say. Ireland, that has been a long time since I hear you. What's wrong with the natural resources thing?
So, as we said in the beginning of our presentation, climate change and natural resources environment is more important heading for us. So we agree with Netherlands and with Italy that 7 billion is fine and it's necessary. And I'm sorry, but I think that 2.5 for immigration is enough. However, in Netherlands, we think that we need to redistribute in a different way. So we would use this 7 billion to 2.5 for a European Agriculture Guarantee Fund, 2 more for rural areas, 1 more for European Maritime, and 1.5 for environment and climate change. Thank you.
For the sake of the discussion, anybody wants to increase in a different number that is not 5 or 7? Okay, so we have either 5 or 7. What? You want any number different? You want to increase it in 3, in 2, in 1, or in 9, in 8? How much? You have another proposal? Please, quick.
We know that we have 9.5 billion left.
Yes.
So my proposal is to migration 6, and to natural resources and environment 3.5.
So now, on the table, ¿vale? And I don't accept any other proposal. 3.5 increase, 5 billion increase, 7 billion increase. These are the 3 proposals. Okay? Now, since the most radical one is Bulgaria's, how many people feel comfortable with this increase of 3.5? Bulgaria, I think you've been answered to...
Maybe if I say something.
Well, you can say as much as you want.
Bulgaria,
yes.
you just got your Turkish. I think maybe this is also... I think you have just received something in the last budget negotiation. I don't know if this is a position to call for a unilateral decrease.
Romania?
Romania suffers a lot from migration, but we still think that like changing this much, like moving this much of funds from agriculture to migration is undoable.
But I mean, investing in migration border security is way cheaper than then expanding on the migration itself. Just a reminder.
I don't agree.
Yes. Italy?
If we can agree in 7 billion allocation that is emphasized by the frugal ones that are the ones that receive the rebates, can we have some confirmation that some part of the rebates will then be included in the migration heading? So that would be a good incentive for example, for Bulgaria to accept this proposition if there is some kind of money then allocated in the other heading.
I think the frugal should be ones responding, or those who are receiving rebates should be the ones responding. Do you guys need time or no for the proposal of Italy? Yes, Sweden, you are one of those.
Well, I think Croatia did a proposition regarding our rebates, and as a representative of the Frugal Four and as Sweden, I would prefer allocating my rebates towards the Croatian proposition and keeping more money that we have on the 21 billion to migration. So it's just a concern of personal preference in the headings. But at the end of the day, same money.
Netherlands, you are also receiving money. What's your problem with this proposal?
I would not be fine with touching about the rebates, but if we are all agreeing on that, I will ask to put conditionality for this specific amount of money to be sure that, well, it's not waste and not used to be to be used in a field project.
What sort of conditionality?
Well, I would like, for example, climate.
So green conditionality?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Austria, you are also a country that receives rebates.
Yeah, I agree with Sweden. If I have to put more money, like rebates, I prefer to put it in natural resources and environment. And also with conditionality, I refer if you want to receive the money, you, for example, need a plan for green energy and reducing emissions, for example.
Okay. Denmark, you also receive rebates?
Yeah, so just to let everybody know, for the sake of the community, me too, as Denmark, is keen to implement this budget with rebates. So given that if we talk about 2 billions from the rebates, it's not even 4%. And I think that we also are, we want to emphasize the environment and climate action. So those 2 billions will go totally to the environmental and climate action. And the other 5 from the 21 are going to agriculture and maritime policy. And I think that we can agree on that. I don't know Germany, if you want about rebates, but I mean...
Yes, Germany?
We agree with what's being proposed now. I think that if we apply those conditionalities, we can present of our rebate.
Netherlands, the last word on this.
No, just to be sure. So 2 billion would be our rebates that go to environment and climate action, and 5 billion to agriculture.
Yes.
Then the remaining 2 can be spent in migration.
4.5.
So it will be, I think, a solution that can satisfy everyone's perspectives right now.
And you apply green conditionality to all. Besides putting 2 billion into the environmental and climate action as Denmark has proposed, the green conditionality that Belgium has, that Austria has proposed and you have proposed still applies to all the funds. Is that correct?
Okay.
Is everybody happy? Spain is not very happy.
You know that Spain is of course very affected by climate change, so will not be a country that stands in the way of climate. But I think agriculture is a hard place to put this conditionality. So if at least my cattle farmers will have tough times adjusting to green conditionality. So if we could at least exclude the European Agriculture Guarantee Fund from the stringent green conditionality, I would like to emphasize that I've shown goodwill in past headings. I would be very grateful.
Makes sense, because at the end of the day, the guarantee fund, not that I want to support Spain personally, but it makes sense because this money is to support, is to subsidize. At the end of the day, it's not as the rural development fund, which you need to improve your farming, improve your harvesting, etc., etc. So it makes a little bit of sense, if you ask me, to exclude the European Agriculture Guarantee Fund of the green conditionality. Netherlands?
I would like to propose that, okay, maybe we do not put the conditionality on European Agricultural Guarantee Fund, but I would like more fund into environment and climate action, if so.
Are we in the well, maybe if it comes from your rebates, you can put as much as you want.
No, I would like.
I shouldn't be the
like
one
funds.
saying this, you guys, but
I'm not totally agreeing with only 2 billion for environment and
2
climate
extra billion.
action. Yeah, 2 extra billion. Like,
No, but okay, with all due respect, Netherlands. But agriculture and maritime policy, it's 95% of the budget of this heading, right? You are adding extra 7 billion. 2 billion out of 7 is more than 5%. It's actually 30%. So you are increasing this budget by 30%, almost. So I think you can actually work for climate action via rural development. If you make your farms, especially you, with all the cows farting in your country, if you work on your farms, you can actually have an impact on climate and environment, I say. Yes, Denmark.
I want just to say one thing to Netherlands, because even Denmark is the greenest, the greener country in Europe. So we really want to increase the environment and climate action, but we understand all the other position of the members that need to develop their agriculture, and that's why I'm keen to stay with 2 billions and not increase it, because I mean,
in a way, I'm trying to clarify the idea of the Commission with this budget and these headings. It's very hard to make the LIFE program work if farms in most of the countries in Europe are not properly prepared for it. So there's a reason why we put more money on the first heading than in the second heading, because we need to kind of balance everybody out in order to make this program more efficient. But that's the way it is thought here. Okay? Spain and Lithuania, very quickly.
Okay, quickly. Yeah, not to, again, confront Netherlands, but I think we have moved on the rebates, we have moved on the conditionality, we have moved on the allocation. I think it's time for the rebate receiving countries to move as well. So is there now agreement with the proposition put forward that with the split we agreed on, with the rebate we agreed on, and that the European Agricultural Guarantee Fund is excluded from green conditionality? Is there agreement? No.
Sweden, very quickly.
Yeah, I just want a clarification on we are still going with the Croatian proposition. I just want clarification. It's the 5 million that I proposed at the beginning, and then 2 million more with the rebates inside.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. So
Yes, also, like we will think that it's two subheadings that actually affect one another, so it doesn't matter that much if like 1 billion here, 1 billion there, because at the end of the day, environment affects agriculture and agriculture affects environment, so it both feedback each other.
Yes? Oh. So now I do the summarize, okay? Now, heading 3 is 408 billion now. And we split it this way. 5 billion, 390.77 go to agriculture and maritime policy, distributed proportionally on the subheadings. And the environmental and climate action becomes 16 billion 48. Is that correct? The money, so at the end of the day, we have increased the budget with another 2 billion coming from the rebate. So the actual budget is 1.233 billion, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct, the number? Yes, I think it is correct. Yes. So, and then we have green conditionality on the heading 3, in all subheadings except for the guarantee fund. Is that correct? Now, finally, we move to the migration and border management fund. And you have 10 minutes to reach an agreement. There's not much money that you can do or not do. So basically, it's how do you distribute the extra 4.5 in this? Yes, Croatia.
4.5 is good, right? Okay, good. No, just in case if someone wants to throw out a reallocation of like, okay, 4.5 is good. I mean, honestly speaking, border management fund, when it comes to border management, I think that's going to be an issue. So proposal, 2.5 on the first heading for integration, asylum, etc. 2 for border management fund, so we can manage our borders a bit better. That's it, especially considering that Romania and Bulgaria are joining Schengen. That's it.
Lithuania, France, and Denmark. There's the 3 hands that I see.
Yeah, Lithuania wanted to say that, well, with the Baltic and northern countries, we're really scared of the Russian conflict, even though like these recent days have been escalating. So I believe that with Croatia's proposal to do like a switch around, so 2 billion to migration and 2.5 billion to border management. In the end of the day, if you spend more into border management, you don't have to spend that much into migration. So my proposal is 2.5 border management and 2 migration, which is, yeah, Lithuania's proposal.
We completely agree with the Lithuanian representative, as investing in borders management not only affects migration, but also affects human trafficking, drug trafficking, and other problems that go around. Especially in the Mediterranean, there have been reports that point towards an increase in human trafficking there. And so we think that investing 2.5 on the border and 2 on the asylum would be a better distribution of resources.
Yeah, for us it's almost the same, but we want to touch a bit the budget, because for us it's more important the border management. So instead of 2.5 and 2 to migration, I would propose 3.5 to border management and 1 billion to migration. Because given what also Lithuania said, by upgrading border management, then we need less money for the migration. And also given that in some countries, some European countries, there are programs, there are national programs just to integrate the migrants. So I think that 1 billion is enough for migration, and 3.5 for border management. We can secure all the borders of Europe better.
Jesus.
So I'm happy to what Denmark said.
So 3.5 to border management and 1...
I was thinking more about 4 and 0.5. But I mean...
We're talking about 0.5.
I mean, I have to ask for what I want. Then we negotiate.
Okay.
But I mean, you have to know that 30% of irregular entries in the EU is between Turkey and Bulgaria. So keep that in mind. But I would be happy with 3.5 and 1. It would be nice.
Poland, and then Italy, and Spain, and Romania.
I agree with Greece because with the explosion of the war in Ukraine, I agree about the importance.
Greece, no, Bulgaria. You said Greece? Bulgaria, you mean?
No, Croatia.
Sorry. Did you say Greece?
Sorry. I agree with Croatia because we want to invest more in the migration and a little bit less in the border management, because with the explosion of the phenomenon of the war in Ukraine, we are not so glad to host all the immigrants in our country, but we can't left out all the people that need help. And we need more money in the migration because we need to invest in the medical assistance, social welfare, and children's education. Moreover, we have the responsibility to share the aim to help the migrants among member states. So I hope that this money that I ask for the migration will be a compromise because we don't want to be left alone, and we need to be more efficient and think about the emergency that we are living, and maybe after will we manage the borders that are a constant problem. But I think that urgency goes before. Thanks.
Yes, thank you, Poland. Also, I'd like to respond to Denmark. Even as a EU border country, some countries have interest in integrating their migrants. So I think even if I see a slight skews towards border management, I think a 2.5 split is reasonable. I'd like to also emphasize, in the grand scheme of things, we're talking about peanuts in the budget here. So I think a 2.5 split is more than reasonable.
We would be more agreeing with splitting in 1.5 in migration and 3 in border management, because less arrivals are less of a problem, and now it needs to have a great problem with reallocating and the arrival of migrants. But we would be more than favorable to accepting the Croatia proposal if everyone is in majority in this case.
With all due respect to the member states, at this stage of the negotiation, we are moving 0.5 billion up and down, and somehow the Commission thinks that there's no much need on this. So let's try to build something in where we can, I understand that not everybody is happy, but can we find a way of reaching an agreement for your own safety also, because it's 8 to 7. Hungary, is this for Romania? You were first. Sorry, Romania was first.
Okay. So I think that the compromise between us would be to put 2.5 in border management and 2 in integration and in migration in general. No, it's the Lithuanians' proposal, because the initial proposal was the country. In this way, I think we will all benefit from migration. We will secure our borders, but at the same time integrate the migrants, because they're gonna come anyways. And so at least we integrate them and we make them a valuable asset for our communities and in general for our economy. 1 billion, I think it's not enough.
I just wanted to say that I agree with the 2 and 2.5 billion. To this end, the common management of external borders needs to be strengthened up, policy cooperation needs to be further developed, and migration and asylum system needs to be made more efficient to cope better with migratory pressures. Temporary protection has been an effective solution for helping over 4 million Ukrainian war refugees in Europe. We consider it important to remain that one of the EU crisis management tools. We consider it necessary to establish the EU funding mechanism both to support the return of war refugees and to support member states with the largest reception burden in implementing long-term integration activities for war refugees. So basically, I think we need to separate the budget more fairly, and also remind the border management has also more investment than the migration. So I think it's going to be fairly to add 2 billion to migration, because we also need to management, and we can also adequate to our budget things like temporary protection as part of the EU's crisis management tools. So I think it's going to be important to add that.
Just tonight, it's funny to see that all the countries that want more money to migration and border management, they have so far away their borders. So I mean, if we invest more in border management and immigration, it would be like an example for the future, and we will save more money. So for me, the idea was 3 billions to border and 1.5 to migration. But I would be happy if we do like 2.5 to border and 2 to migration.
We don't need to discuss anything else. The 4.5 extra billion increased are distributed in the following ways. So we increase the migration heading. Don't leave, because everybody wants to leave. Okay? So I have been listening to you for 4 hours. So the least you can do is respect the final conclusion of all this, because it's your exam, not my exam. Okay? Clear? Vale. If not, next time, go faster to reach agreements. Now, we increase the migration and border management with 4.5, so it ends up being 30.2 billion. Is that correct? And then we have 2 billion into the migration, so it becomes 13.10. 25.7 plus 4.5 is 30.2. Yes? The only thing is that the numbers, now you have 13 billion, 13.1 going to migration, and then it's 16.87 going to border management. See? Now, in order to summarize, you have increased your budget by 23 billion. Is that correct? So it becomes 1,333.9 or 32.9, 33 billion. See? Is that correct? Now, you've decided to put in the single market and innovation 154 billion. See, split in the following way: 96.32 going to research and innovation, 33.98 going to European strategic investments, 7.1 going to single market, and 15.6 going to space. Is that correct? See? Now, heading 2, we talk about cohesion and resilience funds and values, right? We increased this budget by 7, if I'm not mistaken, and 433.99 billion, correct? And we distribute 278 billion, 0.27 going to regional development funds, and 133 going to investing in people, social and cohesion development. And we add, or we keep, a rule of law conditionality on these funds. Yes. Well, it goes split, it goes proportionate. See or no?
No, it is true. No, it is true that Spain said 0.2 increase to.
To make it 0.2.
Like the first heading is not equally distributed. I don't know exactly what were the numbers, but I know that the Cyprus community got a 0.2 increase, not a 0.02 increase. Or 0.3.
200 millions?
The Spain representative said 0.2 increase to the Cypriot community. So at the end, it's 0.39. Yeah. We agreed on proportionate, but changing a little bit the first heading in order to give to the Cyprus community a little bit more. I mean.
You see, you cannot leave.
He proposed it, and he listed all the different headings at the same time. And then we said, yes, we agree, and we moved on. But since he said them all at once, we agreed on. No, because we agreed on the Spain proposal. I know, but we moved on from the heading because after we voted the Spain's proposal, not because the Commission said anything. But anyway, it's just a movement of 1.7, 0.17.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes, from 4 million, 4 billion. We keep them the same, just we take 0.07 from each one. It's a slight reallocation. Yeah. It's a very slight increase.
Well, but we are doubling the amount of money going to the Turco-Cypriotic community.
Yes, but still very little money in comparison to. That's.
I think that
That's what we increased.
Can we double space program?
No, but that's what we agreed on, because I want to remind that afterwards, when we were talking about natural resources, somebody over there said, Bulgaria, you should concede, since we already conceded you on the Cyprus thing. So it's something that was agreed upon. It's 0.2, not 0.03.
Wait a second.
I don't think that that's...
Wait. So let's raise our hands if we understood what Denmark is saying, like what Denmark is saying and Croatia also, I believe. No. Like what you said of the Turkish Cypriots.
I'm really sorry, but for everyone's well-being, because I don't want to fail this class, can we move forward?
Yeah, just
it's zero.
Yeah,
it's
we gave
2,000 millions. It doesn't. No, but we agree with that. I remember that.
So you will have to split the 3.7, 3.9, 3.8, sorry, and the other two. Is that correct? So it is 0.39 to the Turco-Cypriota community. Okay. Next, heading 3. We increase it to 408, right? And 5 million go to the agriculture and maritime policy, 390.77, is that correct? And the 2 million for the environment and climate action, 16.48. We agreed on introducing or maintaining green conditionality to all the subheadings except for the guarantee fund. Is that correct? Okay, that makes food cheaper also, so it's a good decision. Not for us, but for some countries. Migration and border management, which is heading 4, we agreed on increasing 4.5, okay? And those 4.5 makes a 30.2 billion heading, and migration becomes 13.1 billion, and border management becomes 16.87 billion. Is that correct? Okay, now, yes, you can leave. I see you on the 28th at 3:30. It will be very quick. We will discuss some of the behaviors and some of the long-lasting discussions with this group. Wait. Don't leave, because we need to take a picture. Exactly.